Hello everybody! I say hello everybody, there's currently no one online because I obviously hadn't pre-warned anyone that I'm streaming tonight. But you guys should have learnt this by now. I stream on the last Friday of the month, and it is the last Friday of the month, so I'm here. I'm here! I'm here, and we're going to have some fun. So, in theory, everything should be working. But let's test it. So, let me post to a few places. I'm live on YouTube for the next few hours, guys. So, yeah. How is everybody? Are people watching? Hey, we got some people online. Some people knew that this was happening. My patrons probably paid attention and remembered. It was a scary one setting this up, guys, because YouTube have changed their YouTube studio. They've got a new YouTube studio, and live streaming isn't in the same place, and it wasn't working the way it should, and I've had to try and get one that would work, and just a nightmare. Probably shouldn't have left it to the last second as well. To be honest, the plan was, of course, to stream at 11, but I am streaming earlier because I got home earlier. So yeah, why not? Out playing my Friday night magic. Lost every single game I played, which you know, cool. Let's get it posted on Patreon, do an Instagram post, and then we are good to go. So as always, get your questions in. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you want me to talk about. I've got a lot to do tonight, lots to transcribe. So, yeah, get involved. Oh, I hate it when websites just change the way things are. Because Patreon has also changed, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, how do I post? There we go. Posts new. Video. Oh. What is the tag? Transcription stream? Yeah, that's the one. How do I post? Patrons only. I think that went up. Now for the Instagram. Gotta love the Insta, right? Oh, where have you guys gone? I've lost you. You've got. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. Let me do the Instagram. That's not how that works. Tonight's going to be fun, hopefully. We'll see. That is not how you do that. I hate Instagram. There we go. It's that time of the month again, guys. I am live on YouTube. There I am, having fun, reading those comments. So, come get involved, learn some stuff, have a good time, have a beer with me, celebrate the wonder that is the last Friday of the month. See you guys there. Cool. That should be me. I will read through these comments and we'll get going. So hey, howdy. You've transcribed. Brandon's transcribed a fair few of Pierre's solos. What are we going to be working on? We're going to be working on the 4-in plugin video that he did on his Facebook just recently. This, of course, is in celebration of the interview that I did with Per this month. Also, just some great playing. Let me know about levels as well, guys. If levels need to come up in any way, please do let me know. Yeah. Hello from Lisbon. Yeah. Cristiano. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. If you focus on one thing, you'd love to hear my impressions on Per's expressiveness in regards to bends, slides, etc. It's his most recognisable trait. And hello, MC. So let me see if I've got anything coming in on Facebook. Facebook. I should probably post a link in the comment of that. It's all about getting people involved, right? We want people watching. So if you are watching this, please do head on over to your social media channels and link people to the video. Because the more people that are involved, the more fun we have, obviously. So before I start, I should probably do the usual. I should click this. No, that is my transcribing stream bit. I should click this. Thank my supporters over on patreon.com. There's a link in the description if you want to join us on Patreon. Support me for as little as $1. It all helps. Alternatively, if you don't want to be like those awesome people, you can head on over to Amazon and grab yourself a copy of one of my books. One of my best-selling books. Proud of all of them. If you need any help or advice on which one is right for you, please do let me know, and I will, give you the feedback that you need on that. So yeah, that's another way to support the channel. Or of course you can just super chat me. You can send super chats, and well, I'm reading out all your comments anyway. But the rule is, if you super chat me, I will make you a moderator in the comments section. So yeah. Where is Kirkwam at? I'm sure he'll be here. I'm sure he'll be here. Where else would he be? So, yeah, of course he'll be here. So why don't we take a look at the stuff that we are working on today. I am going to open up a new track. Let me bring up the Per Nilsson solo. Here's the Per solo. Is he playing a 7-string? Yeah, he's playing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 strings on that. So this is the solo. I am going to create a 7-string guitar in standard tuning because he's classy like that. I will create that, and we should be relatively good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the solo just so you can hear it. We'll talk about it. I'll talk about my thoughts on Per Nilsson and he's playing, and we'll learn a bunch of stuff. And Chris, Mr. Clarehout from Bali. Nice. I imagine the weather is much better there than it is here in Scotland. Let me make myself just a little bit bigger. Yeah, about there. That suits. Cool. So I'm going to get rid of my face. Yeah, so I am reading comments, guys. If drop me a comment and I will read it. Of course I will read it. So here is the Per Nilsson solo. You get the idea. Cristiano, not a stupid question at all. There are no problem bending on True Temperament frets, just as there's no problem bending on Evertune bridges. No, you bend on them absolutely fine. And if you couldn't, then Per Nilsson would probably be the last person to use one, because obviously very well known for his incredible bends. So yeah, wouldn't suit his playing. Richard is here. How's it going, man? Richard has a singularity, I know that. So you have your singularity out for this one. Yeah, man, Per Nilsson is just such a ridiculously good player. Really nice guy too. It's horrible when that happens, isn't it? I was going to say I'm a ridiculously good player, but I'm an asshole, so that makes up for it. But I'm not. But I'm good at what I do, good at my job. But it's okay because I'm an asshole, right? No, actually, you know what? We should do before we do the transcribing. We should do a talk. So taking on Stevie T, right? I should give more feedback on that situation because so many people missed the point, right? So many people figured that I just went after somebody with a big YouTube channel because it would bring me more attention. Do you have any idea how much of a bad idea it would be to go after someone with 1.3 million fans? Is that really how you want 1.3 million people to be introduced to your channel? By them blindly seeing you as someone that attacks someone that they love? Not a good idea. Like, if from a business perspective, me putting up a video ripping into Steve T is not a smart business decision. I did it because it was the right thing to do. And lots of other people have tried to point out that, yeah, but it's not a problem because Emmanuel, the guy that he posted the video making fun of, he was okay with it. And it there's two responses to that, right? One, okay, cool, he was okay with it, but Stevie didn't know that moving into it. Like, he didn't know that beforehand, right? It just happens that he was okay with it. But actually, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant how Emmanuel took that video. All that's important about the situation is how would it look to other musicians? So, being a teacher myself, I have lots of students, and some of them... Well, actually, one in particular is springing to mind, right? Great slide guitar player, a student of mine, Michael. He's a really good slide player. And I've been asking him for the longest time to make a video of him playing slide because he learnt to play slide. He credits me as being like, you know, the big teacher for him for slide. So I'm constantly saying, man, you should record a video because you play great. And he doesn't believe in himself, which is one thing, but he's also concerned that if he uploads something, he's going to get a shit ton of abuse from people online. And a video like this, where somebody can make fun of somebody's playing ability to 1.3 million people, what it says to people like that is, yeah, you're right, you shouldn't upload videos of yourself to the internet because people might make fun of you. People might not be supportive of your dreams. So that was a concern. So on the one hand, it's, yeah, what if one single person watches that video and thinks to themselves, I'm not going to upload a video to YouTube, then we, the community, have lost, right? And likewise, if one single person watches that and worst case scenario goes, you know what, I suck compared to that Emmanuel guy, I'm a dreadful guitar player compared to him, but every 1.3 million people are laughing at him, you know what, I'm just going to quit, why bother playing? That was the point of that video. It was trying to rally the community together and remind everybody that you have value. You are already the best you that there is. And we are better than this. We don't need to laugh and ridicule each other. Laugh at and ridicule each other. But just be supportive of each other, right? So, yeah, didn't make that video in order to become famous. I'm alright. I do alright. You know, the sheer amount of people, when you make a video like that, they're like, oh, look, you're just trying to get famous. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. They're like, I already know who Stevie T is and I have no fucking idea who you are. Awesome. Do I care? Look around me. I'm doing all right, you know? I don't... It's not about that. It's just totally not about that. Actually, so when I watch that video back, the thing that grabs me about it is just how passionate I get about it. And none of my videos are scripted. None of them. And these streams, of course, they're not scripted. I don't know what I'm going to go into when I do them. I just talk. I'm fluent in the language, so I can talk. And if I talk for 10 minutes in a video and then I fluff something or say something stupid, then I'll go, cool, I fucked that up. I'll just do it again. And it might be a completely different direction I take it in when I do it. But when watching that video back where I'm talking about bullying, I could visibly see that I get quite upset as it goes along. And it's because I'm genuinely passionate about it. It wasn't something that I made for attention. It was something I'm passionate about. I made that video. I hadn't planned to make a video that day. I had more important things to be doing. But as soon as I saw this video, I flew into a rage and was like, this has got me so angry and upset. I just need to say something. So I made the video because that's who I am. If I need to say something, I'm going to say it. It's not for fame. It's not for love. Not for attention. It's because I want you guys to know that I love you all. And yeah, you go and play music. Do your thing. Anyway, so let me read some more comments. Betting on TT is exactly the same, yeah, as Chris points out. Great in my job. I am. I'm good at what I do. Yeah, there we go. Kirk Grammett is back. How's it going? MC from Turkey. And Yeaterson, of course he's already here. Of course Yeaterson's here. Clean your room. It's really funny, actually. I did. I've just edited a new video where I'm demoing the axe cam mount, right? And I've filmed all these lovely shots where you can see like everything behind me, but of course the camera is pointing down towards my hand, so you can see a lot of my wall here, and you can actually see out my door into the into my hallway. But there's one lick that I play that it's like a tapping, like 4-note per string pentatonic tappy thing. So I decided I was trying to record it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sit down to do it. So I sat like this and played it like this. So my camera is pointing down like this, and down here is a pile of, it looks like there's a pair of jeans, there's 2 dressing gowns, and there might be a towel there. So after I filmed it, I looked back at it and I was like, motherfucker, I've created this illusion of being reasonably organised, and then there's just a disgusting mess on the floor that you can just see all of a sudden. So, yeah. Need to clean my room, apparently. Now, Stevie, you know, Cristiano, I was going to go down that route. Like, I had cut 6 or 7 clips of Stevie T just not being particularly good, and I was going to cut them all into the video and make fun of him. But that would miss the point. Like I said in the video, like I'm avoiding doing that because I'm better than that, and it would ruin my entire argument if I was to make fun of his ability to play. He's not the world's best player, but no one is. Nobody's the world's best player. Let me turn that boiler off. Hoo-hoo! Nobody's the world's best player. We all suck. But we're already the best us. So, yeah. And, yeah, good soup. That was the point. Like, this is the other thing that people seem to misunderstand, right? They're like, oh, you should talk to him. He'll probably, when he thinks about it, he'll probably issue an apology. Yeah, I bet he will. Bet he will. Won't take the video down, though, will he? Because he can't. Because he's been paid for it. He got paid a lot of money for it. So he can't take the money, realise that he's done something shitty, and then just delete the video, because then he would have breached the contract. So even if he acknowledges that he did a shitty thing, he won't, and even apologise for it. You can't apologise unless you really mean that you're sorry for what you've done, and being sorry for what you've done means fixing it. And he's not in a position where he can fix it. So, yeah, and also you have to look at a situation like that and say, well, when you're in a position where you're unable to fix something, it's amazing how quickly you twist things in your head to give yourselves a reason why you shouldn't fix things. You're more likely to justify your position if you're unable to do anything about it, you know? The worst thing in the world would him be acknowledging to himself, yeah, I did a shitty thing here. So, he's a human. He won't. What is a boiler? Okay, I mean we all have hot water in our houses, and that hot water gets supplied by something. My hot water heater, the boiler, and it supplies hot water to my taps, but also my central heating system, the thing that keeps my house warm. So yeah, that comes on to heat up water, and unfortunately it's in my studio. So I keep meaning to do something about that. Would I consider doing live jams? I like to watch people improvise. I do stuff like that. I do a fair amount of live stuff like that on Facebook, Rain. And I enjoy doing that stuff there. I also do a monthly study club stream here on YouTube, but that one is for my $20 plus patrons. And in that we take a book. Like this month we were looking at Frank Gambale's Technique Book Volume 1, and I was looking through that and talking about the concepts in it and showing people how I develop concepts from books into my own practice routines. And I improvise a lot in those, of course. Yeah, so I know that I missed a question about Gambale, actually. It just kind of reminded me. Where is it? Do I hear any glimpse of Holdsworth or Gambale? Yeah, I hear so much Holdsworth in pairs playing. So, yeah. Hot water, posh boy. Chris isn't a native to Bali. Chris, are you Dutch? I feel like you're Dutch. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, should we look at this transcription? Should we do some work? Let me bring my... Where is it? There we go. Bring my face up. Cool. So we did the Stevie T rant. Yeah. I don't need this fucking... all these clowns that think that I'm in the YouTube thing for the fame. I just don't care. My channel's growing at a reasonable pace. Cool, it would be nicer if it grew faster, but it just doesn't matter. So anyway, let's take a look at this Per Nilsson solo. Belgian, okay. Okay. My bad. On YouTube, it's a lot more difficult to organise something like what I did on Instagram, Facebook. I mean, I'm not streaming on Instagram ever again because you ruined that, Nilsson, with your underage female teen friends, like, harassing me. I was going to end up in trouble if I did that. You're just going to get my Instagram banned, you motherfucker. So I probs won't be doing that. You know what? It's a weird one. I'd like to stream more on YouTube, but I also don't want to water down my content. Sometimes I feel about having a second channel just for live streaming. Then I could stream every couple of days. But no, it's a difficult one. I kind of like the idea of just streaming a couple of times a month and it being an occasion that people take time out of their day to tune into. So yeah. Blaze Nelson is absolutely correct. Absolutely right. And Anacrusis, there's a pickup beat. So let's just we'll deal with that pickup beat in a second. I've marked the file out in Transcribe. Here's measure 1. And if I subdivide these beats, yeah, this is an odd one because when I do stuff like this, I have the feeling that I'm just repeating myself over and over, and I am, to be fair. I'm just repeating myself. I've done this talk. Hey Scott in Glasgow, you're just down the road from me. Hey Scott in Glasgow, yeah, just down the road from me. I just repeated myself. I meant to go back to what I said, but instead I just repeated what I had just said. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I feel like I've done this like 100 times, and I have in every one of my live streams. I talk through the process of doing this transcription stuff. So I apologise if many of you have heard me do all this before, but at the same time, it's very important that you know the process if you're new. So I will be repeating myself a lot, but that's how you get good at stuff, right? Rasta Ben 95 saw that I'm part of the new Thank You Scientist tab book. Did I also contribute to the other one? I didn't contribute to the Stranger Heads Prevail one, no. To be honest, the way that the maps one happened was Tom already had everything transcribed in Sibelius, but it was just notation and it was a mess. So he needed me to take all of the notation and turn it all into tablature, but then also transcribe all of the guitar solos. So I was happy to do that because I love Tom. I do live in Scotland. I'm in Motherwell, Scott. So I'm probably 15-20 minutes drive away from wherever you are right now. Anyway, I'll be in Glasgow next weekend for the Count Dankula Stag Do. So anyway, the point was I listened to this measure a couple of times. I mean, I only need to listen to it once, but if you are transcribing, you want to listen to what you're transcribing. You need to hear it. You need to understand it. So I've already picked it up. It's ba, ba, da, da, ba, da, da. So it's already there, and I've got my pulse. So I could do it slow. Ba, da, da, da. Ba, da, da, da. Now I don't need to know the pitches in order to do that, but I do know the I can really visualize where the melody goes. So now because I know that, I can think in terms of time. So how long does the first note last for? Ba, ba. It goes all the way through beats 1 and 2. Ba, ba, da, da. Stupid question. is there a different notation if you play a note with a pick or your fingers? That's not a stupid question at all, Chris. I will answer that. Oh, it's East Kilbride. Awesome, Scott. I have a student from East Kilbride, actually. I got married in East Kilbride. And my favourite restaurant is Oshi in East Kilbride. It's a Japanese restaurant. But no, Chris, that's not a stupid question at all. It depends how detailed that you want to get, how detailed you want your transcriptions to be. Most guys, when I transcribe stuff, don't want or don't need picking directions on things. If they do, I will use down and up strokes to notate pick strokes, and then I'll use where is it? Yeah, pop here. That'll put a P above the note, which will tell me that it's plucked with a finger. So you could do it like that. Ultimately, there's no standard way of doing stuff like that, though. Have I tried Dorico? I have not, because it doesn't currently have tablature. I have reached out to the guys at Dorico, though, with the offer of helping them implement tablature in a way that would be perfect for guitar players, because I want a piece of software better than Guitar Pro. Anyway, so enough of repeating myself. Yeah, I'll keep going. So, ba, 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 da. So we know that first note lasts for 2 beats, right? Now it's just about putting in. Now I can see that he's on the B string. Around the maybe 13th fret? Da, 12th fret. Da. Now, this second half of the bar, I've already processed the rhythm. I know how it goes, but I'm going to slow it down so we can hear it. So we got ba ba da 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 da. Now, when I'm dealing with something like that, I would break it down into its 16th note sections. So instead of going da 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 da, sorry, ba da 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 da. The first note lasts for 3 16th notes. The second note lasts for 3 16th notes, and the final one is 2 16th notes. He picks the first one and slides down. So yeah, but then he also picks and slides up. Yeah, yeah, and does he pull off? No, just picks. So, you know, articulation very important, and I missed the fact that first note is 2 beats. So let's see what's happening. More comments coming in. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Guthrie's a great example of that too. Like, just so effortlessly going between that stuff. Or Andrea Nieri. Standard notation was not designed for guitar. How do you use a wah pedal? Put your foot on it and wobble it back and forward as much as humanly possible. Have I ever been down to Riverside Studios? I cannot say I have. Yeah, just believe. How important is the video part of a performance when you transcribe? Why not just the audio? That's a great question. So, of course, when I'm doing work for people, I'm going to look at a transcription later on in this stream where there is no video. When I'm doing transcription jobs for people, more often than not, I'm working from just audio. And that's not a problem. Of course, it is a little bit harder because you have to, you know, be able to imagine where things are likely to have been played. Again, we're talking about the struggles of transcribing guitar versus transcribing piano. When you hear the note ba, there's only one place where you can play that note B on the piano, whereas with a guitar we need to really conceptualize. In this instance where we go ba 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 ba, which is B E B A, you know, there's one way I can play that on the piano. There are so many different ways I can play that on the guitar. So I need to be able to conceptualize how it's being played on the guitar. Now, because I play the guitar, it's reasonably easy for me to do that. The reason I always pick video for these live streams is so you guys have that reference. It makes your life a little bit easier, right? So, yep, there you go. How much harder is it for me to transcribe without a video? Not, well, I'm going to say... I'll tell you what, the only difference is when I transcribe with a video, I never pick up a guitar. I don't need it. It's there for me. When I transcribe without video, I'm a lot more inclined to pick up a guitar so I can, you know, play it as I'm doing it. I'm glad that you asked about Bumblefoot, Chris, because Bumblefoot is kind of supposed to be one of the topics of this stream as well. I'm supposed to transcribe some bits of Bumblefit here and there, and I just don't know if I've got it in me, because that's hard stuff. So I have transcribed little bits and pieces of Ron's stuff. One of the pieces I want to transcribe today is the post-chorus fill on Rockstar for a Day from the Normal album. But there's your prime example of just stuff not being designed to be notated. You look at that and you're like, how do I write this out and do it justice? How do I write it in a way that people that are reading it are going to be able to understand it, are going to be able to get what they need out of it? So, yeah. A new study from the University of California shows that record rainfall as a result of global warming has ironically resulted in the best crops in a decade, which just goes to prove my old theory that Richard Simmons is gay. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, sorry. So, da da da. We did that part, right? And then we carry on. Now, we could put vibrato. Because he's, you know, this has vibrato on it. This doesn't, but this does. If you want to be really pedantic, he slides up. I just put that in as like an X. Slides in from above. He picks both notes. Interesting. Now, this kind of attention to detail stuff is not necessary, but I'm going to do it. He does like a pre-bend. It's like a grace note pre-bend. But, you know, if you're really wanting to study his playing, like that's an important part of that. It's not ba bu da da da, ba do da da da. It's ba do da da da. So detail, super important. Chris, I've been many times over the years. Well, I say many times, maybe 3 times over the years. I have suggested at Ron that I should do some of his stuff, but I don't need to do his stuff. He's too damn good. Like the damn Adventures of Bumblefoot book that he put together, flawless. You know, that's scary stuff. But you know, if he ever wants to put out like a transcription package of any of his stuff, I'm not going to say that I'm cheap, but for commercial stuff it's totally viable because he'll make really good money. He's got a new single coming out soon, right? I'm really excited about that. I just saw that on Twitter today. So now is that pick, slide, pick? It's a pull off by the looks of things. Any shops around me that I would recommend over others? Are you talking about guitar shops? Oh, did he? Did he release more stuff on Bandcamp? Let me check this out. Last time I was on there, there was... how just recently? Yeah, I've seen all this stuff. He did the abnormal and the abnormal instrumental mixes, and the Little Brother is Watching instrumental, and then the karaoke mixes. What I really want is like isolated guitar, so I can really hear the stuff in detail, because he fascinates me, absolutely fascinates me. As you guys probably know, I did that hero worship video, and the first guy that I thought of worth talking about in my hero worship series was Bumblefoot. He's always been a huge influence on me. Da, da, do. Oh, you know what? I totally missed the pickup, didn't I? Let's go back to the pickup. So now we've got a sense of how the solo goes. We need to deal with the pickup. Now, what I would tend to do for this is I would isolate beat 1, drag it back, and that tells me how long the beat is and tells me where the notes fall in. So I have to ask myself, is it a triplet? Is it 1 da da da, 2 da da da, ba da da ba da da ba da da ba da da? This case isn't. It isn't that. It's actually 30-second notes. It's ba da 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 da. But the final note, the first note isn't played. So it's ba da da ba da da ba da da. So that helps me be really accurate. Ba da da. Now where is he playing it? I hate Guitar Pro. It's the worst piece of software. Because I have to put an anacrusis bar in there for this to display properly. But when you do that, other bars don't display. I have to remind myself to come in at the end and fix that. Let's have a look. I mean, I have a ton of interest in things with regarding Ron Chris, but you know, he's a busy guy. I'm sure he gets bothered by a lot of people all the time. We're not particularly close, so I don't feel that I can just send him an email and say I would like this, you know. Otherwise, I would have already sent him an email by now and said, "Dude, get on my channel. I want to do a video with you. I want to do you an interview. I want to talk. I want to tell more people about you." So if we 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, yeah, 100. Now that pre-bend really helps, doesn't it? Scott, guitar shops. I mean, the only one that I really tend to visit would be Guitar. I have a couple of pals that work there. I don't buy a whole lot of guitar gear anymore, aside from obviously that beautiful Rev amplifier over there, but of course that didn't come from a shop, so yeah, need the anacrusis for that to work properly. Now, generally speaking, I don't like to put vibrato in my transcriptions. I like to leave that down to the player. So, didn't Ron use to answer mails from fans for hours every day before it got too much to handle after joining Guns N' Roses? It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I can only imagine how bad that is. I can't keep up to date with all of the emails that I get. Sometimes that drives me to tears. And I'm not exaggerating. There are times where I look at my email inbox and it overwhelms me with how many people I need to get back to with things. And sometimes it's work, sometimes it's just people wanting to say that they enjoyed this video or that video or whatever, and I feel fucking dreadful that I can't get back to them all. So it must be a nightmare for Ron. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a shift slide on that. Palm mute. Ba 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 da da. Da da da. Da da da. Ba, is it a slide or a hammer? Ba, the heavy vibrato, really nice. Not many people do a great vibrato on the little finger, and he's great. Ba. Da, da. this is I hate stuff like this, right? So I could be wrong, but because I don't expect this from Bear, he's an incredible improviser. So I'm certain this is improvised, and it's just a trick that my eyes are playing on me or my ears are playing on me. You wouldn't believe the amount of times that I'm transcribing something and I see something articulation-wise that doesn't add up with what you hear. So in this case, when he goes back down to that E on the 7th fret of the A string, it sounds like he slides into it from above, but you can clearly see that he doesn't physically do that. So if this was anyone else, I'd say, well, this has been edited, or this is a mimed performance creating the illusion of improvisation. Worth pointing out. I don't believe it is the case here. Do I know Fountainhead? The guy's just crazy as Ron with a fretless. I don't. I can't say I do. No. Ba da da da. Ba da da da. Put the palm mutes in there. Why not? Ba da 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 da. Again, it's just rhythmically. It's just processed in my head. Ba da 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 da. You just won't be able to do this stuff unless you can process the rhythms like that. You'll be able to work out what the guy is playing when you transcribe and you don't understand rhythm, but being able to write it down is just, it's a totally different skill. So yeah. Yeah, please do. Please do. We were talking about Thank You Scientist earlier, right? The reason I got into Thank You Scientist, the reason I discovered Thank You Scientist is because Bumblefoot mixed the original version of Maps of Non-Existent Places. If it wasn't for Ron recommending checking out Thank You Scientist, like, I never would have heard of them. So again, there you go. Thank You Scientist is one of my all-time favourite bands, and I wouldn't know them without Ron. So again, just one more reason that he is top of the hero worship. Huge fan. Exactly, yeah. Tom being one of Ron's students. And this is how we know it is an improvisation, because he scuffs that bit. So we have to sort of, how do I put this? Fill in the blanks. I need to anticipate what he was attempting, what he was going for there. So it looks. But this is scuffed. He's not playing that. Ba 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 ba. Doesn't pull off. Put vibrato in there. Ba da 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 da. Do I still own my fretless? Oh, I don't, and that kills me. I traded that in so I could afford to buy my miners headless, and the thing that kills me the most about that is that was Tom Monder's fretless, so that fretless was used on the Thank You Scientist album. So I went to see Vola. They opened for Monuments, and I wasn't hugely into them. They didn't really grab me, and then they played Alien Shivers, and that I was really impressed when they played that live. They did. I mean, they were really good live. And then afterwards, I came home and I just found myself going. That, which is the chorus melody in Alien Shivers. So I had to obviously I remember the name of the band, but I couldn't remember the name of the song. So I had to go and listen to all of their stuff to find that track. And yeah, but I think Vola are really good, really good. Great riff in that song, actually, Alien Shivers as well. Now shifts to triplets here, so we go from ba ba da 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 da. Pitches are wrong. Ba da 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 da. Words to that effect. Ba da 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 da. Rhythmically, that's a weird one, but we'll go with it. Oh wow, Johann Sebastian Bach, back from the dead, man, back from the dead. Good to hear from you, buddy. Been a big fan for a long time. Big influence. Let me see if I've had any emails come in. We'll also tonight be transcribing some Brian Setzer, and also going to transcribe some Scotty Anderson. That's actually me being naughty. I'm transcribing a job that I have to do. I need the motivation to pull my finger out and get some done. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely be paying attention to Vola. I like it. So, ba-da-da-da, hammered on. Nice little chromatic note there. We're going to have to adjust the spacing of this. Sounds like it's an F sharp in the third beat. Here? We talking here? There's ooh. No, He's sliding from. It's really off-putting going on a 7-string. I'm looking at the tablature, and I really need to look at the notation. That's the notation. It's like it's just a. You're totally right. Like you could do it like this. Could do it like this. I forget that Blaze Nilsson is watching, and he really holds my feet to the fire for stuff like this. You could go with that because it's like he slowly slides between it all. I'm glad you pointed out because I don't like this either. It's just a great example of something that no matter what you do, I don't think it looks great on the page. It's not a great representation of how it's being played. Oh. That's just a pain. It's never going to be a nice way to write that out. It's too floaty, but I don't want it to look bad on the page. Just blast him through this, aren't I? Should be more attention. Hey Lucy. Better not be one of Peter's friends. I'm quantizing that to fuck, to be honest. Again, quantize the fuck. Can't trust the video at all anymore. Yeah. Nilsson is the beast. The beast. Peter, have I tried the Fortin plugin? I haven't. I have not. Stuff like that is really difficult for me because I mean I don't record all that much. I have my Kemper profiler, which I have some amps for, which sound great. If I'm not using that, I mean I'm always using that. But if I can't be bothered to turn that on, then I will use I'll use Easy Mix, right? But I've also got the 2 Notes audio, the Torpedo Live, so I can also use that. Like I could plug my Rev into my PC, use that as a load box, and record that tone, which is again a great tone. I have this, right? You ready to kick me? I have one of these. I've had this for ages. I've never plugged it in. Since the day I got it, I opened the box, I took it out, went, cool. I took a picture, I put it here. I took a picture for Instagram. It's just there in front of my monitor, and it has stayed there ever since. I've never plugged it in. I've tried to sell it because I'm just not going to use it. So the Fortin stuff, if somebody wanted to send me a copy, cool. I would love to give it a go. But I don't need it, and therefore it's not something I'd ever spend money on. Again, that articulation there, that pull off is kind of important. Now he's like, it's more of a controlled bend and release there, but yeah. The best part is I know who's behind Johann Sebastian Bach, and comedy genius. Didn't you die of syphilis, Bach? How did Bach die? I feel like he died of syphilis. Or did CPE die of syphilis? Let's have a look. Did he die in Leipzig? Oh, he had a stroke. Okay. Probably suffered from diabetes. Yes. Devastated. He was. Oh, sorry. Devastated. It says devitalized. The rest is due to stroke. Yeah. Bach died of a stroke. Steven Ryman. Just replying to a patron, guys. You know what I should do at this stage? We've done so much great transcribing work. How long have I been transcribing without you able to see anything, guys? There you go. Ricardo just pointed out that you can only see my face. What is crack-a-lackin'? That is a good question. I was going to say what I should do is bring up my patrons and be like, these guys rock, and go buy one of my books. But after showing you my face for all that time, I don't even know how you saw my... What did I... I don't know. No idea. No idea, guys. I apologise for that. You have saw everything. Now we should check it, right? Let's see how accurate I've been. So let's put in my anacrusis. If I put this count in, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, that. Yeah, it does plays like that. Cool. So let's check it. Section marker, convert to section marker. We're about halfway through. So I should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn. It's just how it has to go, right? I'm good. I'm good at what I do. That came out really well. I'm happy with that. Per Nilsson is such a beast. You should check out his amazing solo from David Matsumichi's Wrinkle Maze. What album is that on? And which Gambali transcription was it, Alex? I've done so many. Just takes the piss, doesn't he? I have seen into the vast expanses of all time and space. You have traversed many dimensions in this expansive universe of ours, and yet not in one plane of reality does Levi get laid. Peter, I have a wife. You're like 12. Don't worry about my love life. Be very worried that you might not have one. Does he play on Bilo 3? Man, that's a wild album. So I would have heard the solo, I just wouldn't have put it down as being his. Per is a great player. Oh, Yang, right. Oh, you're 15, okay. And yet that's in Scotland as well, so you've already reached, like, that's middle age for you. Yeah, sorry, you must actually... I'm English, so, like... my life expectancy isn't 30, obviously, or I'd be dead now. So technically, we're both surely the same in terms of our life progress. You're halfway through yours. I'm halfway through mine. Oh, wow. What's he doing here? Yes, Peter. I've got lots of experience with the Strandberg stuff. I'm a big fan. I really like their stuff. How's it compared to the miners? they are totally different. You know, Ola's guitars. Ola's not a guitar player. Ola is an engineer. He solves problems. He looks at things and asks himself, how can I improve upon what we have here? If the guitar didn't exist, how would I design it? Kind of thing. So when you look at his designs of things, like it's like he's always trying to fix a problem. Or well, it's not the right way of thinking it. It's not fixing a problem. Again, it's how would I have done it if no guitars existed? So his shape is very radical, but it's brilliant. It's great the way it rests on your leg. No matter where you sit, there's always a comfortable way for it to work. The same with the Endure neck that he has on those. You know, they're great. They're cool. That's what you would design a guitar neck as if you were an engineer, right? The Hydra, on the other hand, there's very little development on that. There's very little on that you look at and go, wow, that's a nice advancement, a technological advancement. So the Hydra, to me, as far as headless guitars go, is probably the least boundary pushing one, the least progressive of them. It feels very much like a regular guitar. It's just a lot lighter, which is cool. I like the hole in the back of it where you can thread the cable through. I think that's a really good design thing and an underlooked design thing. But as far as, you know, like the competition go, you look at like the Kiesel stuff. Actually, the Kiesel stuff is kind of similar to me. But if you look at the Ormsby stuff or the Strandberg stuff, they're pushing more boundaries than the Minor stuff is. Having said that, I still own a Mayonnaise, so take from that what you will. I prefer that. I like a guitar to feel like what I know a guitar to feel like, you know? Oh. Should I? Oh, hello.
What?
Jamie, your meme is getting played live on a stream.
Happens? You play John Mayer's Neon? But you use Shred. Sounds like shit, that's what happens.
Yeah, Jamie, it's worth. I don't know if it's worth a better take. I don't. I'm not entirely sure where the joke is. So there, we're getting some love from the Mayonnaise boys, but yeah, that really is the case. Like, let's not pretend that there haven't been options for me to have other guitars. The options are always there. I've been offered guitars. I've been offered free guitars. But the same principle always goes. I play what I like. I play what I love. Which is why I play my Telecaster and a lot of stuff. I love this guitar. Do you want to know the funniest thing about this guitar, right? Take that axe cam mount off it. This guitar is disgusting. Any single person that played this would go, this is horrible, throw it in the bin. The action on it is about 2mm off the neck. It's so badly set up. But that's why I love it. It's so much work to play this guitar. So much work to play this guitar. Therefore, you feel even more rewarded when you play it. Do I like the Ibanez RG550? I love the 550s. I've had many 550s over the years. Yeah. So if I want a guitar to play that's a lot of work, I'll pick up my Telecaster. If I want a guitar to play that's just so wonderfully crafted and just feels like $1,000,000, I'll pick up one of my Mayonnaise guitars. If I want to pick up a guitar that feels like cheating, like it's so easy to play, so effortless, like the easiest guitar I've ever played, I pick up my Red Vigier because it's, you know, great guitar. Anyway, getting lost. This is going to be a mess. He picks that, actually. Yeah, man. Still love my Vizio guitar. That red Vizio is a special guitar. Really is. I could upgrade so many things on it as well, but I don't want to. Like it. It works. Like it's just there's something about it that all the parts they work together. And if you were to change anything on there, I worry that it wouldn't work in quite the same way. I've considered changing the pickups out for the bare knuckle Blackhawks. I absolutely love the bare knuckle Blackhawks. They sound incredible. They look incredible. But I just worry that I'd put them in there and I'd put the strings back on and the guitar just wouldn't feel quite the same anymore. Yeah. I could sometimes think about changing the hardware on it, putting black hardware on that guitar. But again, I just worry that it would change the guitar. When something works, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Vigier are hard to come by anywhere. Yeah, upgrading any guitar is always a risk. And it's why I like people to build me guitars. And I assume this is the case. I feel that when the guys at Mayonnaise are building a guitar, they care. And if something about it isn't quite right, if the neck doesn't fit with the body in the way that they want it to, they'll do something else. They'll make something else. In the past, I've gone for like Warmoth stuff. I've tried to create my own stuff using stuff like Warmoth. And I find that if the neck and the body don't match, if they don't go with each other, they just don't go with each other. And it doesn't matter how many upgrades you put on it, if the neck doesn't sit in the neck pocket perfectly, if they're not bonded at the molecular level like that, it just never plays or feels or sounds right. Maybe it's that. Maybe Warmoth stuff just don't have any mojo. I don't believe that. I think you'll get amazing bodies from Warmoth. I think you'll get amazing necks from Warmoth. The struggle is finding an amazing body and an amazing neck from Warmoth that work perfectly with each other. And every like Vigier that I've played, or every Mayonnaise that I've played, or even Sur, every Sur I've played, like they work. Everything goes together just so well. Is my Mayonnaise headless better than my TTM guitarless? You know what, guys? If you want some real fun, let's do this. Let's do this for a bit. Let's laugh at TTM, right? We'll laugh at TTM. So if I go up here, I'll open up a new Facebook tab. If you want fun, right? You go on Facebook, and you have a look for TTM guitars, right? And then you go under groups. And you go in the official TTM USA guitar owners group. Now you can already laugh at this because there are no USA TTM guitar owners. No one in the world owns a USA TTM. They don't exist yet. But when you scroll through these, right, scroll through these posts, and just read what's going on. Like Rick Fox, he's such a fucking laugh, this guy. This old, pathetic, midlife crisis man that played in Wasp for a couple of weeks and played in Steeler for a couple of weeks and now must be 60 and still thinks he's important and a big deal. Like, hey Lance, tagging Lance, I just now saw that your email from March 12th and I don't know why it didn't show up on my inbox. I accidentally found it in the sent file. In any case, thanks for the message. I replied back and sent you some photos. Please call me. What? Why are you putting that in the group as well as sending a fucking email back to him? I'll tell you why. It's because for the past 2 or 3 months, Rick has been freaking out in the group saying, oh, I've not heard from TTM. Like, it's just, something fishy is going on, guys. Honestly, you just read through these and the sheer amount of breakdowns that people have, and then they get deleted, like posts get deleted, and people say, look, I'm tired of waiting, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back. These guitars are never going to come. Look, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. Like, it's like everyone's playing chicken, and they wanna stay in the game as long as humanly possible, and it's the winner is the last person to accept the fact that they've been scammed. So they're just holding on to this belief that these guitars are going to come, and when they do, I just know it's going to be the best guitar and we're going to be rewarded for staying so loyal. What is this based on? You have no reason to believe that. There's no fucking reason that you would believe that. You've never played one of these guitars. Nobody has. This company don't know how to make guitars in the US yet. Nobody makes their first guitars and they're great. Nobody makes them and they're perfect. Your guitars aren't coming, guys. Well, they'll come, but they'll be late, and they won't be what you were hoping. I can't be banned from it, Peter, because I'm not a member, and they've not made it they've not made it private. So. I don't like how that's come out. Tweak that just a bit. This is what I was thinking when I was doing it, but yeah, that's better. TTM best air guitars in the world. I don't know. I've got to really check this one out. Look. See this? Man, just listen. Hear that? No, just listen. You can hear the sustain. I went a bit. What's the? Oh, you know what I'm getting at. Where's Ryan Woodard Rocks? Hey Ryan, how's it going? Ryan, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But how could I not be doing good? Seeing as we've been talking about guitars, why don't we show off a guitar? I should do this, shouldn't I? Ready for this? Ready. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. I really like this guitar. I like this guitar a lot. I need a strap to play it properly, but... So there's a story behind this guitar. Ryan, I am actually coming to Nashville. I'll be in Nashville for a couple of days in September. I'm doing a 3-week vacation across the US with my wife. So yeah, I'll be about. Anyway, so the story behind this guitar is I went into Guitar in Glasgow, right, to try out some guitars. I had ordered. I think I owned that one and the 8-string, and I'd ordered my custom shop, and I went into I can't plug it in, man. It's almost midnight. My neighbours will freak. So I ordered the guitar. Anyway, I was playing a few guitars in the shop, and this one, again, it was just one of those that you played it and it worked. Everything about it gelled, and I played a couple of other Hydras that they had in, but there was something really nice about this one. It was really expensive, though, so I left it. $2,500, I think, Yeah, 2.5 grand. And yeah, so I left it and I went away and I just thought about this guitar. It just kept popping into my head. Oh, it's such a nice guitar, such a nice guitar. That was what I traded my fretless in, so I could part exchange it to get this, because this would be one of those things that if this sold, if I went into that shop and this wasn't there anymore, I'd regret it. So I'm glad that I own this guitar. I love this guitar. What time is it there? It is, yeah, 11:25. Yeah, so that's a pretty guitar. I wish I could have this hanging on the wall, but it doesn't hang up so well. That's the criticism. Anyway, let me move it out of the way. Just put it over here behind all my magic cards. Okay. So yeah, if you get the chance to try one, great one. Great guitars. Where am I from? I am from England, but I live in Scotland. Well, you did not retract your message. I don't see a threatened retracted message. Anyway, back to the transcribing. No. No, I hate it. Oh, that's a great question. So, any brands other than Vigier and mayonnaise that I really like? I mean, I've got a long history playing Ibanez, so I like, you know, it'd be hard for me to not say that I don't like Ibanez. I've been looking at the Ormsby stuff a lot recently. I like a lot of the stuff that Perry makes. I like a lot of his like design ethos. I think he's got some really cool ideas, and he's very passionate about improving the instrument. I like a lot of the Strandberg stuff, to be honest. What else? I've never been particularly crazy about the Carvin stuff. Or Kiesel, sorry, Kiesel. I mean, I still like Fender. You know, I like a Fender custom shop. I asked Carson Hess about making a custom Telecaster for me. Yeah, it's a difficult one for me. Because I have a lot of guitars, man. I have like 15 guitars or something like that, and they're all nice, expensive guitars. So I'm at that stage really where I just don't want more, you know. Would I ever spend money on a vintage guitar? I mean, that's what I'd really like. I would really like a vintage Telecaster. Yeah, good spot there. Actually, I did do one lick library thing. I did my first Chop Shop video with a PRS because I flew down from Glasgow to do it. So I was just using whatever guitar was there, whatever guitar was in the studio that I could find and use, and that was the closest guitar to acceptable. but it only had 22 frets, so I couldn't actually even do the stuff properly on it. Now when I go down to London, I go on the train so I can take my guitar with me. Yeah, I am going down to London actually in May to do 2 more Lick Library videos. So there you go, you heard that here first. And I will take. Oh, what will I take? Do I want to take the Telecaster? Do I want to take the Mayonnaise? Do I want to take my Vigier again? I don't know, difficult one. I would love a vintage Telecaster though. Ernie Ball? No, never found one that I loved. Do I think that sheet music looks beautiful? Love it. It's why I do what I do. Do I want to put this as a 7 or a 4 and a 3? I'm just quantizing like fuck now, but I do it because I do it because sheet music is beautiful and I want it to look beautiful on the page. Ba da da. Da ba da. Did you make YouTube videos with a camera on the guitar neck? With this, I've got a video uploading tomorrow where I use this to film with the camera on the guitar neck. In fact, who wants a teaser? Who wants a teaser? Who wants a teaser? Who wants a teaser? An exclusive. An exclusive peek. Get the idea. Should have really cleaned the guitar. So it's just me talking about that camera mount. This way, my screen to go. You'll see probably as you go. Think twice here the paisley as that difficult a procedure, as you can see. The only thing that is worth fitting it to the guitar, etc. So there you go. Teaser. There will be a video of me with the axe cam mount. Yeah, so you need to clean the dust off. If only that would dust, right? That's all dead skin. Who cares? Everyone that watches the videos. I'm guessing now, let me... Do I think that Transcribe, the software, could be improved in any significant way? Hello, Jose Javier Aranda. Probably butchered your name there, I do apologise. David Gilmour exhibition yesterday in London. Quite a few vintage tellies for sale. Yeah, sell a kidney first, yeah, I imagine. Let's actually have a look. Let's see what some vintage tellies are going for. I spend most of my money on magic cards nowadays. Sad, pathetic man. Telecaster, filter by, highest price. So 1960 Fender Esquire, yeah, about 15 grand. 67, 58 with a restored body. 69, 63, 69. Look at this. Not the best pictures there, buddy. Yeah, maybe there might be more. Yeah. So 69. I mean, it's not really. What I want is a 53. Danny Gatton played a 53. Let's have a look on Reverb. There's a custom shop 53. Let's go Telecaster. Electric guitars. Do they subcategorize by vintage? Or year? Okay, show more. Ideal. There's a Telecaster from the 1910s. Okay, so like 50s. That's what I'd really want. So a 58. Seems quite cheap. It's 52. I mean, a 52 would be amazing, wouldn't it? There we go. There's a 53 tally. Yeah, 55, 59, 54. I'd go. Oh, this one belonged to Danny Gatton. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 51 would be what, a no-caster? Unless these are getting a bit pricey. Let's have a look. 58. I'm with Joe Bonamassa on this. Why take it apart? So 58, 10 grand. It's a lot of money. 16 grand for a 53 telly. It's natural. Not so much. It would need to be a butterscotch. I mean, I could go for like an Olympic or a vintage white. Yeah, that's nice. How much? 18 grand. Let's have a look. 54 to 55. Blackguard maple neck. 7 out of 10. Custom produced Barden pickups are fitted. The originals are included. Used. King of Country and Rockabilly, Mr. Danny Gatton. Danny Gatton didn't play country. Yeah, no real info on Danny's ownership of it. What's this? Oh, okay, so yeah, Joe Barden. Credit to Joe Barden. Yeah, I mean, it's way too much money. Way too much money. I am not that successful. I'm not making an offer. I'll be divorced in 10 minutes. Better. Better. I mean, you want me to... Oh, hang on. I can't see a link. I don't think you can post links in the chat, Ryan. Facebook it to me. Or email it to me. Looking good, looking good. So how long have I been going for? I mean, I'm working at a slow pace today, guys. It's been going for nearly 2 hours, and I've not even transcribed. I've not even transcribed all of that. It's Levi Clay88 at gmail.com. Da 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 da. Right, shall we compare? Where have I made a mistake? That'll happen with Parker, man. Right, I just want to check that. I want to see how that sounds. So anacrusis. Then we'll do the final bit. Section marker. How long have me and Mike been friends for? 4 years? 3 years? 4 years? Right, so should be able to line these two up if I go 1, 2, 3. You get that right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Not getting the timing on that quite right. Yeah, good enough. Let's have a look. Stevie T fans been contacting me to share their love. Yes, yeah, fair few. But you know, kind of makes my point, does it not? Walk right into my trap. It's almost like I could criticise Stevie T for being a bully and encouraging his fans to bully people, and then leave it 2 weeks and then make another video just compiling all of the abusive emails and messages that I get from Stevie T fans. Okay, right. Oh, no, I mean, no. No, it doesn't do anything for me. Sorry. That's just it's just a reissue, right? So it's reissue 50s Telecaster. My main Telecaster, this one, this is a Mexican, this is a Roadworn series. So it already looks a lot better than that one will. Because it's got all of this checking in the paintwork. You can't really see it all that well on this screen, but the checking on here, like all the cracks in the lacquer, are just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. A little bit of wear on it in places on the back. The thing I really admire about this is, and this is all me, it's really discoloured here from where it sits on my leg, and the way that the nitro finish has just sort of reacted to stuff. Man, I love that guitar. It's a dog. It's a dirty little dog. I love it. Where have you guys gone? There you are. Tape under the bridge. No. Oh, no, that's... I did a video on that. That's Danny Gatton's Dingus mounting plate. It's metal. It's more free time. Yeah. You could do that both ways, triplet or 16ths. In fact, I want to do it at 16th notes. It's because I've got Anacrusis on. Da da da. Don't go lower than a G sharp because I can't go lower than a G with my voice. Not heavily guarded secret at all. Go and read Unfinished Business, the Danny Gatton biography. He had depression. Whoops. Ba-ba. Ba-da-da-da. See, no video at this point, so I'm having to, guess how he's doing this. Now I can get the timing right. So it'll be let's go with da, 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 da. Oh no. Huh. Oh, this isn't fun. Ba, da, da, da. There you go. Nope, shouldn't be grouping that. What am I doing? Should be grouping that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm just going to leave that as a fade because I already hate that. Anyway, let's have a look. That is the end of the video, yeah. Do I recommend not using guitar while transcribing? Always see me transcribing without a guitar. Always use it when... You should use a guitar when you transcribe if you need to. I don't use a guitar to transcribe, not because it makes my life easier. It would be easier to do it with a guitar. Certainly be easier to do it with a guitar. The reason I don't do it with a guitar is because it can cause wrist problems going between guitar and then mouse and then keyboard. I want to keep my wrists as straight as possible because I have to do this for at least 6 hours a day every single day, right? So when you're doing it with that level of time, you don't want to give yourself any sort of RSI. So if I can avoid using a guitar, I try to. I'm probably not going to get around to doing the Scotty Anderson transcription tonight, but when I do that, I will be using a guitar when I do that because it will make my life easier. So yeah, having said that, but Chris is also right. Like, use your ears. Too many people don't develop their ears. I don't think it's a result of the YouTube generation. I think it's the result of allowing yourself to be guided by other people. It's not necessarily YouTube. I think people were just as bad when they had tab books. I think if you look at guys that got really great, let's talk Guthrie Govan or Bumblefoot, and I pick those names because Chris obviously knows those guys well. They got good because they're pre-internet and therefore they learnt by listening and imitating. So yeah, if you're listening and imitating with a guitar rather than listening and imitating with your ears, it's still that skill of listening and imitating. That's a very different skill to here's a tab, go and play it kind of thing. Which seems silly for me to say, right? Because I make a living by making tabs for people. Making transcriptions of things, right? So yeah, clearly I should be saying the same to my customers, but it's all about time, right? If you have the time to develop your ears, by all means do. But if you work a really busy day job and all you want to do is learn, when you get home, you want to learn that Per Nilsson solo that you absolutely love, I wouldn't necessarily turn around and tell you to spend 20 hours transcribing it. When you could pay me to transcribe it, it will take me an hour or two. That would be a lot more valuable for you because you can then spend the other 18 hours learning it, you know? And you can also, in that 20 hours you've saved, you can probably earn enough money to pay for me and then some. So yeah, let's have a look. Mamsey's released another. No, very different. It's blues album. Steve Vai versus John Petrucci. Well, I have a Dream Theater tattoo, so I'd have to go with Petrucci. I've never been hugely into Steve Vai's music. Never got me. It's too unique. I know I like uniqueness, but as I get older, what I look for in music that I listen to is authenticity more so than uniqueness. So I hate the idea of someone being like a blues guitar player with no blues in their playing. There are a bunch of blues cliches that you need to have and know in order to improvise in a way that people understand. Same as when I'm talking to you now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, as I'm talking to you now, like I'm using a bunch of cliches because that's how we talk. We don't think so much. We don't think so much when we talk. We fall back on things we already know. So if I was trying to talk to you now, just inventing words and not giving you anything that you understood, terms and phrases that you're already familiar with, then it would be much harder for me to convey what I'm trying to say to you and much harder for you to understand me. So when you listen to blues and they don't have, I mean, this is embarrassing for you, Ryan, you've missed the joke. It's Petrucci with an E, not Patrucci with a U. Yeah, so unless you have that authentic part to your blues, like you'll never sound like a blues player. And Steve Vai, I'm not criticising him for that, but Steve Vai sounds uniquely Steve Vai. So I always felt, even when I was a kid, that I can't learn any of Steve Vai's licks, because if I do, I'm just going to sound like Steve Vai, right? Having said that, if I pick up a guitar, play the cliches. What is it? Some sliding fourth. It's kind of in there. I've learned bits and pieces over the years, but I've never learned a whole thing. No licks or anything like that. So, anyway, yeah, that's the one I can remember. Did I see Rick Beato videos on G's phrasing? No, I didn't actually. Rick's the man. Rick is the man. Cool. So let's compare. Let's see if this solo stacks up. So again, bar and a crucis. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. the track slows down here. We can actually fix that if we go. So we go. Where is that? I'm looking for the phrase. Here we go. So here we go. Slows down to what? 95? It's got to be more than that. It feels like it's more than that. I'm going to hide that automation. I'm going to make this progressive. And I want to progressive and hide automation. Hide automation. There you go. Let's try that again. See if that makes any difference. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Again, it's slowed down even more. He's really slowing it down here, which is kind of cool. If we go down to maybe like 90 here, maybe 92, progressive, hide the automation. Here we want progressive, and again, you want to hide that automation. Maybe down to like 90 here. Again, hide that automation. And obviously this isn't necessary. I just really like my transcript. I like to be able to do these at the end of the video where we can go, yeah, it's perfect. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Slowed down even more, but you get the idea. I'd say that works for me. Right. I mean, I'm probably gonna. Oh, Chris has dropped me messages. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right. Awesome. Well, I'm really glad you tuned in, Ryan. Yeah, I'm glad you got something out of it. So thanks for the advice. Transcribing from Jim Hall. Good stuff. Very good stuff. let me not much time, and because of that, use the guitar. Again, Javier Aranda. I keep butchering your name. I really apologise for that. For years and years, I used a guitar for all of my transcribing. Years and years and years. Because it makes me work faster, and it helps me to connect what I'm hearing with where my fingers would play it. That's how I helped to develop my ear really well. It was because I spent so much time hearing a phrase and then singing the phrase and then playing that phrase on the guitar. You get a good idea when you sing something of how you're going to play it because you've done it 100,000 times, right? Marek discovered my channel this week. Really helpful. Watch my tutorial. Thank you very much. Yeah, Guitar Pro is dreadful, but you know it's the cheapest and best option for what we do. So yeah, you know what I'd also throw out there: stick this up your fucking pipe and smoke it, Stevie T. And all you fucking 1.3 million subscribers that are like, oh, look at this motherfucker, it's just doing this for attention, just doing this to be famous. Like, fuck right off. This is what I do, and nobody does this like I do. I don't need to make shitty videos bullying people on the internet and being a fucking goofball in order to get a fan base. I don't care if my fan base is 0.00001% of that of his. The people that watch my channel, you mean the world to me, because I know that what I make is content that you enjoy and it is helpful to you, rather than me just fucking going in videos. So yeah, I've been married for two and a bit years. I was married in December 2016. So 2016, 2017 first anniversary, 2018 second anniversary. Yeah, December 2016 I was married. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hitting 20k, and that'd be awesome. I cannot wait to hit 20k, but it's not important. It's not hugely important. It will come. Actually, I was talking to someone on Facebook. I'll bring myself up if I want to do the talking thing. In fact, you know what, guys? I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I've earned a beer. Thank you. Right. People are asking how long I've been married for. Hello. We've been married for 2 years. We married December 2016. December 9th. Passed the test. I'm not a big drinker, but it's really warm in here, and yeah, I've enjoyed myself. So I could do with some fluids. So yeah, 20,000, not all that important. I was talking to someone on Facebook just yesterday where they were talking about the Stevie T situation, and the stream is brought to you by VPix. Yeah. I was talking to someone about the Stevie T situation, and his defense of Stevie T was like, oh, you know, he made a video talking about depression and trying to help people, like, so clearly he cares. And I'm like, so what, motherfucker? Like, here's a link to me talking about depression 2.5 years ago. And again, doing the same thing, like just trying to look out for people in the community. Because there'll be some people watching now that will have known this man, Jason Spell, who was a friend of the community. He was a good guy. Jason Spell was a really nice guy. And he killed himself a couple of years back. Because he was, depressed and life was hard, and you know, it was a shame. And I wish that more people were there for him, and I wish I was there for him more than I was. There were certainly times where I could tell Jason was feeling down, and I'd talk to him, and you know, and we'd have a laugh, and he'd perk up. Obviously not my responsibility. Like, it's not my fault that it happened, but point is, we should be more understanding of each other and look out for each other, and not bully each other and not laugh at each other. But the reason I mention that is because in that video, I make this point, I say exactly this, which is I don't care how many subscribers I have. It just doesn't matter to me, because if I only had 2 subscribers and I was making videos and only 10 people were watching them, those 10 people are so important to me, because they've taken time out of their day to watch what I have to do. I've watched what I have to say, and you know, those people matter. Those people matter so much more than the people that don't watch me. And at the time, this was 2 years ago, I had 3,000 subscribers, and I was blown away in the video because I was like, look, I've got 3,000 subscribers, and that's amazing. And it is amazing. So yeah, I've got 18,000 now, and one day that'll be 20,000. And it will be just as amazing to me to hit 20,000 as it was to hit 1,000. So I'm looking forward to 20,000, but at the same time, it doesn't matter to me. If I never picked up another subscriber, would it really matter? Because I've got all you guys that watch me, and that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending some of your like it's Friday night, right? Thank you so much for spending some of your Friday night with me, guys. Keeping me sane while I do some transcribing for my patrons. Anyway, so let me read some more comments. Why don't I get child labour force to full-time advertise me? I mean, that'd be great. Who here uses economy picking much? I was a big economy picker growing up, really serious about economy picking. I've moved away from economy picking now to be more alternate picking because I prefer the sound, but I still do use quite a lot of economy picking when I'm playing slicker, faster lines. So yeah, big fan of the technique. Jason was an amazing guy. I think about him quite a lot, actually. Yeah, and I just can't bear the thought of anyone doing that again. Anyone doing that is such a shame. And we definitely have a problem with suicide in the music scene. Like, it's such a shame. You think like Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're just people like just resorting to the final solution for themselves, and it's just never a good answer. It's never fixes the problems, and you might feel that it solves a problem for you, but it just leaves more problems for the people that you leave behind. So so again, 20,000, awesome, can't wait, gonna be great, but super happy with where I am now. So thanks, guys. I want to bring up my ads. I will give you a code for the VPix website as well. You don't want that. So I'm going to sit here with this for a bit. Patreon supporters, thank you very much, guys. If you would like to join me on Patreon, there's a link in the description. You can do so for as little as $1. A single dollar. How cool is that? It's not a whole lot of money. It just means that you're part of a very cool club that gets to join my private Facebook group. My private patron-only Facebook group. So yeah. No response from actual Dingleberry, herped up, but plenty of his fans. Yeah. This stream is brought to you by Cause. I do like a Cause. Like I say, not much of a drinker, but it was my wife's birthday a couple of weeks ago, and we had a sort of house party thing. I might have had 3 or 4 beers all night. And I bought a crate of Cause for her, and lots of people bought Cause over, and then next day I looked in my fridge and there was like 40 bottles of Coors left, and this is the first one I've had since her birthday, which was I think the party was on the 16th of March, so not a big drinker, but it's really warm in here. I knew this would be really cold. I do like a Coors. Saturday morning for Chris. Well, thank you very much for spending your Saturday with me, man. Thank you very much, Chip. I do my best. There certainly are guys that are out there that you worry that they're down that route that Jason went down, and you just constantly have to. You never want to say to them like, "Dude, don't kill yourself," because that's a terrible thing to say to someone, because it might not be that bad. But just letting people know that you're there for them, cool. Letting them know that they can upload a video to YouTube and you're not going to make fun of them. Yeah. Oh, books. See these? I should also say, you know what? I've got see the latest one, Slide Guitar Soloing Techniques. I have about 40 copies of that left, paperback copies of that left in my house. And if anybody would like to purchase a copy of that, it's the best way to get a copy of it, because all of the money will go to me. So if you want to hit me up on Facebook or via email to let me know that you would like a copy of that book, £15 plus postage, I would be happy to sign a copy for you with whatever you want. Yeah, great way to support the channel. You can also support the channel by going to vpix.com and picking up a couple of vpix. Vinny, great guy, absolutely love Vinny. And if you use the code friend of Levi, you'll get 20% off. So can't say better than that, can you? I'll be doing some videos soon demoing some of his new picks. I'm looking around though and I can't see. There it is. So for years and years I've used, like almost a decade now, I've used the medium pointed, which is this one. He just released the hot tamale, which is a medium pointed but with 4 holes drilled in it. And initially when I saw that I was like, stupid little gimmick. But then Vinny sent me a couple and I played it and I didn't go, oh wow, this sounds so much better. And I didn't go, oh wow, there's so much more grip, but I could feel that there was a little bit more grip on it, and cool, a little bit more grip, why not? So yeah, VPix, go support those guys because they're good people, very good people. That's actually the reason I'm doing. Was it Ryan? Yeah, Ryan, you mentioned Nashville earlier. When am I coming to Nashville? We're doing Route 66 and we're doing a little detour, and the traditional holiday organised by the company that are doing it, traditionally you'd go off the route and you'd go to Memphis, but I said when we were booking it, I was like, look, I'd like to go to Memphis, but I'd rather go to Nashville. It's a little bit of a longer drive between them, but I'd really like to go to Nashville. So yeah, a huge part of that of course was to see Nashville. But also because Vinny from VPix is in Nashville, and I really wanted to stop by his place and thank him for all of the years and years of support that he's given me. So yeah, support him back. He's a really good guy. So Richard asked, what are my thoughts on Oznoy? Love his Twisted Blue stuff. Man, I fucking love Oznoy. He is such a good player, and I should do a month of transcription on him. I would be happy to do a month of transcription on him. In fact, cool, next month, Oznoy month. We just need to find some good live videos of him, because I can't do studio videos or I'll get demonetized, or even worse, the risk of a copyright strike, which is the last thing you want. So yeah. Herped up, the red one looks to be inspired from the Red Bear picks. Yeah, well the Red Bear ones just drill holes in them. There are lots of guys that do that. Like if I look through here, I'm sure I've got... There was another company that were trying to get me to make a signature pick for me. Obviously wasn't interested. Because again, integrity matters, and I'm not going to name the company. I can't find it. I don't know where that went. Integrity matters. Why would I want a signature pick from a company that I don't play the product of? Why would I learn to like a product just because a company wants to give me a signature pick? I would so much rather be with a company who doesn't have a signature pick for me, but love the product than not. So yeah, the holes drilled in the pick thing. Definitely Red Bear were doing that. Blue Chip do that, I believe. Hawk Picks do that. Has Patrick Hushmid been doing that? Maybe Gravity. I don't know. Tons of guys have been doing it, but yeah, cool. I like them. Friend in the States, really bad depression, nice guy. Can be a real prick. Yeah. I actually got there was an artist, and annoyingly I forget the guy's name. I didn't know the guy. But actually, if you look at like Marcus Countdankida on Twitter, his profile picture, this guy did the art for it. I know he did a lot of art for The Dick Show, which is a podcast I listen to. And one night I got a message from Dick Masterson, the podcast host, and he was like, Levi, I don't really know what to do, but I'm sure his name was Andy. Andy's talking about killing himself. I know he's in Glasgow. Like, what can we do? Can you call the police? And it was dreadful, because it's like, call the police and say what? Hey, there's this guy. His name is this. He's going to kill himself. Where is he? Don't know. And again, unfortunately, he did. He killed himself. So it's just like this constant barrage of people killing themselves. There's a difficult subject, right? Yeah, it's just hugely prevalent. I think that the internet can lead people into that direction where you feel isolated and on your own. I try and focus on spending time with people, the wife, friends. It's the reason I started playing Magic, to be honest, because I could get to go down to my local shop a couple of times a week and I get to talk to humans. My depression can be really bad, really, really, really bad. The last couple of days, weeks, last week or so, I've been particularly bad. Just feeling like I'm just floating through the day, and like just constantly like, what is the point? I can't keep doing this, and it's awful. It's awful. I catch myself doing it, and I'm like, shit, like snap out of it, snap out of it. Yeah, and the point is, like, if you see someone that could be like that, often all they need is a distraction from it. So talk to them. Talk to them. We're all friends, all here together. Look out for each other. Yeah. Depression's a bitch. Suicide is even worse, though. So people are good. Generally speaking, people are good. I mean, I'm never going to criticise Osnoy's picking for being a mess, because my picking is absolutely dreadful. I always described it as me trying to alternate pick like a line sounds like Michael J. Fox trying to have a wank. Dreadful. Because money. Fuck money. I was going to say, like, if you have integrity, money will come. I have integrity. I'm not seeing a whole lot of the money. But maybe one day. But again, like, you can sell your integrity, but you can't buy it back. You can't buy your integrity back. Can't be done. So, yeah. You have to keep your integrity all the time. There's a live stream at 1 a.m. on the EVH Gear TV with Oz on it. Oh, okay, cool. 1 a.m. Cool. I'll hang about for a bit then and maybe catch some of that. Where is Lucy from? Where is Marek from? Slovakia. California. Show with the not authorized name. Oh, the Michael J. Fox thing. Of course you laughed. I have a terrible dark sense of humour. Offensive would be the best way to describe it. More often than not, the punchline to a joke for me is the horror in someone else's face. Does playing guitar help with my depression? That's an interesting question. I think, like, looking back, like 10 years ago when my career was just sort of starting out, I would say that it was probably a cause of a lot of my depression. Just, because of stress and disappointment, not achieving the things that you needed to achieve, not being able to support your family in the way that you should or need to. Now I don't have that so much, so I'm less stressed about my playing. And I've made a point of this a hell of a lot on my YouTube channel, a hell of a lot over the years. Like, I don't give a shit about technique anymore. It used to be really, really important to me, but now it's not all that important. And it was because I had that realization that I might not be the best, but I'm already the best Levi Clay. There's no one that plays the guitar like me. There are people that might play the guitar better than me, but no one plays it like me. Just like no one plays the guitar. Who asked the question? Russell Bannister. No one plays the guitar quite like you do, Russell. You are unique, and that uniqueness, I think, should be celebrated. When I realised that, I stopped worrying about, like, oh, is my picking as good as it could be? None of that mattered. It all became about, well, how can I express myself? What can I do in order to, sound like the way I want to sound, and achieve the things I want to achieve? that was the best thing that could happen to me, because once I removed that competitive element of things, I stopped feeling so stressed about things. You stop feeling like second best. How can you be second best when you're already the best you? That was really helpful to me. And now when I play the guitar, I certainly don't feel depressed by it. I think my depression generally comes from a build-up of stress. A build-up of stress and frustration. And I'm often stressed because of the sheer amount of work that I have to do for people, and I hate letting people down. It's amazing to me that people ask me to do things for them. So I want to be able to keep everybody happy, but I'm currently, like, my email inbox, I've got 51 emails that need dealing with, and a large portion of those will be people that want me to do some transcribing for them, and I've not even been able to get back to them. Hang on, wants to move to next week. I'll email him later. Well, that's a relief. Oh, Chip, you've just joined me on Patreon. Thanks very much, buddy. Make sure you get signed up to the Facebook group. So, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, just the sheer amount of stress of emails that I can't answer all of them. I can't get back to all of these people. I feel dreadful for it. And that level of stress just sort of builds up and you get frustrated by it. At least I do. So playing guitar can be a release from that. But I generally find that just doing anything away from the guitar is useful for depression, distracting yourself from the thing that is frustrating. So for me, it's usually work. So, you know, playing Magic the Gathering, I enjoy. Painting miniatures, I've not done that in a while actually, but I do enjoy that. Lego, like building Lego, the Millennium Falcon I've been working on, even just playing video games, you know, anything like that helps. Spending time with friends, all these things help. So Lucy's from Argentina. Cool. I've not been, actually. There's a few Argentinian restaurants, and I was going to say, and Brazilian restaurants. I guess it's a very similar part of the world, and I like cuisine from that area of the world. So, but yeah, I've not been. I did it again. My opinion on fourths tuning. Same as my opinion on like open E tuning or open G tuning. Like if it works for you, if it's what you want to do, then by all means do it. Don't convince yourself that you're doing it because it's necessary or that it makes things easier. Because you know, if it does make things easier, you've still not demonstrated a reason that you should do it. It being easier is not necessarily a reason to do something. Just something being easy. Like, give me a reason. Because for you to say it's easier would mean that you can, using fourths tuning, you can achieve something that I can't achieve in standard tuning. I know the guitar neck inside out. I can play over any changes that you present to me. My knowledge of harmony on the instrument is tip top, you know? So fourths tuning won't help me achieve more than I already can. So yeah, now that sounds like I'm bitching about fourths tuning. I'm not. If you want to tune in fourths tuning, then by all means tune in fourths tuning. But don't sit and tell me that it's superior, because it's objectively not superior. If you can't play an open E chord, it's useless. To me, of course, being subjective there. It's useless to me. If I can't play, Mystery Train, then useless. But there are some guys that do absolutely fantastic stuff in fourths tuning. Obviously, you know, people are always going to say Tom Quayle, but Alex Hutchins, of course, plays fourths tuning. Ant Law, he's a great player. I've transcribed a bunch of his stuff. He plays in fourths. He's cool about the way he plays in fourths, actually. So if I was Tom, I'd do what Ant Law does. Ant Law keeps his high E string and B string as E and B and tunes everything down a semitone rather than the other strings up a semitone. That's cool to me. He showed your girlfriend Thelonious Monk. She said my piano teacher would kill him for his bad technique. So, Nico, that's actually really funny because she's right. She's absolutely right. But that's why piano players absolutely suck. Because they come from this hugely long line of established pedagogy. The way that the instrument is taught. And The guitar doesn't have that, and therefore we all play in quite unorthodox ways compared to each other. We all play in different ways, and our unique techniques on the instrument can often lead to the way we play, can lead to our sound, can lead to the reason we sound the way we do, right? So well, the same applies to piano. If you have an unorthodox technique, you're going to play it in a slightly unorthodox way, and that old classical method of learning the piano is great if you want a piano player to sound like nobody. But if you want some personality in their playing, let them work it out for themselves. Is Stevie T Canadian? I have no idea. I hate whammy bars. It's superior if all you want to do is shred. You can play 3-octave Paganini style arpeggios. I mean, I can play 3-octave Paganini style arpeggios, no problem in fourths tuning. Rusty Cooley works as an example. Tony McAlpine was the guy I was going to say though. Tony McAlpine, he can do absolutely beasting arpeggios, and he's been doing it for 40 fucking years. 40 years, yeah. 40 years. Didn't need fourths tuning. The Per Nilsson, the guy we've been transcribing tonight, you know, stick on some of scar symmetry stuff, and like, just an absolute fucking monster. Fourths tuning isn't necessary. It might make something easier, but like I say, making something easier is just another way of creating a shortcut for yourself to make it easier. Doesn't mean that it can't be achieved the other way. Oh, I love Eric Johnson, yeah. Great tone, great phrasing, yeah. Big Eric Johnson fan. He's got both, like a ballsy, throaty, aggressive tone when he wants it to, but when he switches over to that clean channel, he's so delicate. And his pick attack is always so soft, and he can combine that like aggressive, punchy tone, but without needing to have an aggressive attack on the notes. I find that really fascinating. I used to be a huge fan of Joe Satriani. He was my biggest influence when I started playing. It was three guys. It was him, Noodles from The Offspring, and Mick Thompson. And when I was given Surfing from the Alien, I just used to listen to that album every single night to go to sleep. And I'm sure if I... all that legato. I forget all of it, but it's in there. I remember it, kind of. So yeah, that or Ah. Bits and pieces, they're all in there. So Satch was a big influence, but as my playing developed, I kind of fell away from that rolly legato thing, and I just got into players that were a little bit more authentically blues and jazz, like outlining chord changes, and yeah, that I fell into that. I do have a Mick Thompson BC Rich, the Warlock, the nice one, the NJSS M7 with hate down the fretboard, not at the 12th fret. That's in my loft upstairs. Trying to think, what other Satriani songs could I play? Yeah, maybe Satch Boogie. I used to play a ton of Satriani songs, to be honest with you. I remember learning like the Crush of Love. I used to love playing the Crush of Love. A Summer Song. I used to play Summer Song all the time. Mystical Potato Head Groove thing. I was really into playing that. Of course, who wasn't? The Extremist, and hated the fact that that was tuned to E flat. And then, you know, me constantly as a kid only having one guitar, like having to go between E flat and E all the time. Yeah, I'd learnt so much Joe Satriani over the years, actually. Flying in a blue dream, you be dying in a poo stream, baby. Have you seen that video? Let me see if I can find that. Oh, purple sparkle. Oh no, what is it? G3 purple sparkle. I'm never going to be able to find it. There was a funny video from years and years ago where somebody had done the voiceovers. Nah, that one's gone to time. That used to make me laugh all the time though. Comment on YouTube videos. Someone asked me what strings I use on my 8-string. I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm a huge fan of blues. I've written blues guitar books, man. I've written Premier Guitars Beyond Blues column for the last 5 years. It's their most popular column. Their second most popular column is Twang 101, which is my country column. So, yeah, I like blues and I like country. Anyway, that's me, guys. I'm gonna head see the wife before she goes to sleep. Probably take an early night myself because my first student of tomorrow has cancelled, which means I'm just looking up there. So I've got a student at 4 o'clock. I've got a student at 9 o'clock. That's awesome. It means I can have a sleep in the morning. Maybe go out for breakfast, treat myself. Yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Honestly, seriously, thank you very much. It really does mean a lot to me that you you hang about and you watch my stuff, you madman. Hit that subscribe button, tell a pal, tell a friend about the channel. If you don't enjoy what I make, that's cool. Tell one of your enemies. That's another great way to support me. You can be like one of these awesome people over here. Check me out on Patreon. Patreon is great. For as little as $1, you get access to my Patreon Facebook group. For $5, you get access to my Patreon transcriptions, of which this Per Nilsson one will be. So those guys are going to be able to download that tomorrow and play around with it themselves, along with the other things that I intend to get up, like the some Bride sets of stuff and the like. And of course, you can also check out my books on Amazon. Please do that. Delta Blues slide guitar soloing techniques. Got another slide book coming. Michael Novak, thank you for tuning in, buddy, but I'm about to leave. Country guitar for beginners, 100 country licks for guitar, country guitar soloing techniques, the country guitar fingerstyle method, or country fingerstyle guitar. It's a weird one. The country guitar method compilation. So yeah, lots of stuff to check out. I'm sure you'll enjoy all of it. Maybe. Much love, and I will see you. I'll be back again next month, of course, but you can always find me on my YouTube channel. I'm always in that comment section, so if you ever need me, I'm always here. You guys have a great weekend and have a great month, and I look forward to seeing some of you again next month. Much love, and I'll see you again soon. I'll do a guitar solos one. Bye, fuckers.